What's up Vikings, this is Chaos and today I am going to teach you 7 ways to use Creative Mode in Valheim more effectively. But before we begin, for those who have never used Creative Mode before, I will quickly show you how to start using it. Head over to Steam, right click on Valheim in the bar on the left and select Properties. Then scroll to the bottom and enter -console in the launch options. Once that is done, close the window and launch Valheim. Now that we have the console unlocked, we can turn on Creative Mode. To do so, first open up the console by pressing F5. Then enter dev commands and hit enter, followed by debug mode and hitting enter again. And ta-da! Creative Mode has been unlocked. With that, here's tip number 1, time of day. Enter TOD 0.5 into the console to fix the time of day to noon. This stops the lighting from changing, so you never have to build in the dark. Before you start building, hit the Z or Z key to enable flying. This makes it much easier to move around and build. Next, hit the B key to remove placement cost, which lets you build without having any materials. Now that we can fly and summon objects out of thin air, let's move on to tip number 2, clearing trees. I once spent 4 hours clearing a massive plot of land by hand before figuring out a faster way to do it. You can actually summon creatures that have high destructive powers, such as Yagluth and trolls, to clear trees for you. But before that, remember to turn on God mode by entering God mode without a space in the console so that you won't die from a troll smack right away. To spawn Yagluth, type spawn Goblin King in the console. Yes, Fulings are actually goblins. And to spawn trolls, type spawn troll. You can also press up to paste the last use command to quickly spawn more trolls. Do note that enemies will not try to hit you while you are flying, even if your character is on the ground, so you can use the Z or Z key to toggle enemy aggression. Run close to the structures or trees that you would like to have cleared and let your very helpful logging company do the work for you. Yagluth's melee slam and meteor attack does a lot of area of effect damage, which is particularly useful for clearing dense plots of forest. If you think that one Yagluth is too slow, you can always summon more. You can also chop trees while getting attacked to speed up the process. Once you are satisfied with the work of your goons, press K to kill them all. No, I do not condone slavery nor animal abuse. To clear the drops from the bosses and the wood from the trees, enter remove drops without a space in the console. Unfortunately, I haven't found the shortcut to chopping logs and removing stumps and stones, so you will still have to clear them the old-fashioned way. Once you've cleared out a small plot of land, it's time for tip number 3. Building a small 18 comfort hut. A 4x4 room, or 8 meters by 8 meters room to be precise, is big enough to house all the necessary furniture to achieve 18 comfort. When you build a hut this small, you can skip building the frame and just build with floor, wall and roof tiles. Do remember to also build a small chimney for your fireplace. I'm also going to add a simple decoration for my hut. And if your hammer breaks while you are building, you can just press tab and hit the repair button to repair all your equipment. Yes, you do not need a workbench nor forge to repair anything. Isn't Creative Mode great? Now that we have our hut, we need to build the following objects to reach 18 comfort. First, a fireplace. This will give us 3 comfort. Then, build a dragon bed, which will give us 2 more comfort. Next, build a stool, chair, bench, raven throne, and table, which will bring us up to 11 comfort. After that, build all 3 rugs to reach 14 comfort. Building a banner of any color will give you 1 additional comfort, which brings us to 15 right now. The maple will give us 1 more comfort and we can build it right outside our hut. The Yule tree, which is only available in Creative Mode, will give us 1 more comfort, and we can get our last point of comfort from a brazier. 18 comfort will allow us to have 25 minutes of the rested buff, which increases the rate of recovery for stamina. This means that we can use tools for a longer period of time before running out of stamina. However, even with the rested buff, sometimes when you're raising the ground or removing structures quickly, you may still run out of stamina. To allow you to continue building at maximum efficiency, you can use stamina meats, which brings us to tip number 4. To make some stamina meats, build a few fermenters in your hut. Then, look for the meat base for medium stamina in the crafting menu. Make some and put them in the fermenters. Fermenting normally takes 2 in-game days, which is 1 hour in real time, but you can speed up the process by using the sleep command a few times. Do remember to wait for a few seconds before using the sleep command again, as the in-game time only speeds up, but not skip to the next day. Sometimes when you're building, Thor decides to fly across the sky and give your character a golden shower. I mean, make it rain. Your character then gets wet and your stamina recovery rate gets reduced. This brings us to tip number 5, skipping bad weather. To make it sunny again, so that your stamina recovers quickly, just use the sleep command to speed up time. Press F5 and type sleep. That's it. You can also head back into your hut and stay near the fireplace to get dry while waiting for the bad weather to pass after entering the sleep command to get your stamina recovery back up again. Bad weather aside, sometimes events occur that interferes with your construction. However, unlike the weather, the sleep command doesn't help you to skip events. This brings us to tip number 6. To quickly end events, simply enter stop event without a space into the console, and you can go back to building your masterpiece. Finally, for those who like to share their creations online, here's how you can take beautiful photos and smooth videos in Valheim. Simply enter free fly in the console to switch to camera mode. This will allow you to move your camera without moving your character. Controlling the camera is simple. Just like your character, WASD lets you move front, back, left and right. To move up, use the space key, and to move down, use the control key. To hide the user interface, hit Ctrl and F3. Finally, as you can see, the camera movement is very snappy by default. To get that smooth panning or dolly effect, enter FF Smooth followed by a value between 0 to 1. The higher the number, the smoother the camera movement. However, a smoother camera also means more difficulty in controlling it, so do test out different values and pick the one you like best. And that rounds up the 7 tips and tricks I have to share for using creative mode in Valheim more efficiently. As a bonus for aspiring builders out there who are looking for a large empty plot of meadows with a small mountain to build their next project, I have cleared out all the trees and stone on a plot of land on a new seed and exported the world files for anyone to use. If you're interested in using it, do check out the link in the description below to download a copy of the world files. The instructions on how to import a world into your game has also been included in the zip file, so don't worry if you've never done it before. And that wraps up this week's video. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, comment if you know any other tips and tricks for building in Valheim, and subscribe if you want to see more Valheim builds and building tips. Thank you all for watching. This is Chaos, signing off.